Today, we are going to be making stocks, and once the stocks are done, we are going to be making what's called a remouillage, which is basically a reutilization of the animal parts that you had used for stocks. We're going to be making two kinds of stocks today. We are going to be making a light stock, and we are going to be making a brown stock. Now, here are our ingredients. On the left side, we have chicken feet, we have mirepoix, and we have some aromatics, which include thyme, crushed garlic, and peppercorns. On the right is practically the same thing, except we have beef heart to give more beefy flavor, and we also have the introduction of tomato paste. Now, one thing you want to do with the chicken feet, as you can see, this foot still has its nails. So what we simply want to do is take a pair of scissors and just snip off the tips of the feet. And that's it. It's ready to go. And you need to do this to every single chicken foot so you don't get nails. Luckily, when I bought these chicken feet, they've already been cleaned. Usually chicken feet, they have this really tough yellow skin on them. Time to mix wet stock. Here we have a pot of water boiling, and we have our chicken feet, and we're basically going to blanch these for about 10 minutes. Now, as you can see, our chicken feet are done, but there's a lot of scum around there. So we're going to do an old French thing where we're going to basically throw out all the water, rinse off the feet, and put in new water with our aromatics and mirepoix. As you can see, we have our chicken feet in new water with our mirepoix and aromatics, and we are going to let that simmer for 4 hours. Time to make some brown stock. As you can see, the oven is set to 450. I have my chicken feet and beef hearts here, and we are basically just going to give this a little toss. Then we will put that on this rack. We will make sure everything is evenly spread, as you can see. I have tossed the mirepoix in oil and the tomato paste. I'm also going to be putting that on the roasting pan. Going to open this oven up and put our stuff to roast for, let's say, about half an hour. The alarm for the chicken feet and the hearts are done. So we'll take these bad boys out. Then we're going to transfer them into the stock pot. Doesn't that look delicious? But there's just one problem. We have all these goodie bits left on the pan. So what do? We add a bit of water. Then we'll take our trusty rubber spatula and massage all this to get all the foam off. Once we have gotten most of the tasty bits off the pan and the water looks like this, we are going to place it into here. Then, when all said is done, we'll add enough water to cover the whole thing. Yeah, that sounds good. Add the aromatics into the stock pot, and we will let that simmer and reduce for 4 hours, just like the white stock. Now, there are a couple things I need to mention about stock making. First of all, if you plan on making consommé with your stock, one part of the process is to skim any scum that forms on the top of the stock. Because you want a very clear stock, that is very important. You don't really want any particulate matter floating around. But yes, skim it. If you don't want to skim it, that's fine. I personally don't think the scum gives any off flavor. So it really depends on how you want to make the stock. Secondly, I guess, is you can really make stock out of anything. You can make a vegetable stock, which is delicious. I would obviously cut the vegetables much smaller than I did for the stocks that I'm making right now. You can also make fish stock. I would cut the mirepoix roughly the same size as you would for the vegetable stock. Those two stocks will take 30 to 45 minutes to finish. It doesn't take very long. Chicken stock takes longer. It takes about 3 to 4 hours. I like to go to for 4. You can also make stock from lamb or pork. That'll take 4 to 6 hours. Then finally beef, which will take 6 to 8 hours. And that's because of the size of the joints of the animal and all that. And thirdly, you want to use bones that have meat on them. Because if you purely use bones, even though bones are great, hi Larry, even though bones are great for bone broth, they don't have much flavor. Also, when it comes to the animal parts, you want to use stuff that has a lot of gelatin. You want stuff that has cartilage, tendons, stuff like that. That's why I use the chicken feet. When you're using bones and meat from cows or beef, you want to use the joints because there's a lot of cartilage there. Isn't that right, Larry? Yes, that's right. So as you can see here, the feet are no longer submerged. So we're just going to take a bit more water to cover up the feet and let it continue doing its thing. Now, as you may have noticed, the stocks that I'm making are fairly cloudy, and that's because my temperature is a little higher than what some people would probably like. I personally don't mind a cloudy stock. There's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. You just couldn't use that for consommé. So it's been 4 hours. I've strained the solids away from the liquid. Here is the brown stock. And here are the two bad boys in all of their glory. And there you have it. White stock, brown stock. It's time to make the remouillage. To make the remi, we're basically going to reuse everything that we have boiled. We're going to top it all off with some water. We will allow the remi, or remouillage, to do its thing for about another 4 hours. And tomorrow, we will be making the mother sauces with the stocks that we've made today, as well as the derivatives. We will also be answering the question whether or not escoffier considered hollandaise to be a mother sauce.